Welcome back. So today we are going to be looking at part 3 of our new player guide. We've already gone over the hangar and the UI in here, and we've already gone over playing your first battle. So if you haven't seen either of those and you want to know more about those topics, make sure you go and check out those videos. But today we're going to be talking about outfitting and preparing your individual squads for battle. So let's just look at a squad that I already have. So these guys, right here. These guys, in their upgrade tree, this is how I've upgraded them. We went over upgrades in the first video of the series. They're not fully upgraded, mind you, and they actually do have a point to spend, so why don't we put that somewhere? Let's put it right here. Make the upgrade cost for the Beretta 1918 cheaper. But anyway, they're fully upgraded in their blue tree and their red tree, so they have the maximum allowance of soldiers, and I've already chosen the types of specialists that I want in the squad. So if we were going to outfit this squad from scratch, or if we wanted to change out who we currently have in the squad, we'd go into change soldiers, and from here we can see all the soldiers that are in here. Up here it can have up to 7 riflemen, 4 assaulters, an AT soldier, an engineer, and a machine gunner, which we have in here. But if we were to scroll through here and say, oh, we wanted an AT soldier, let's assume that we don't have one, because, well, I don't have another one. That's the only one that I have available right now. Then we could go to Enlist Soldiers, come over here to the AT soldier, and we have 2 guys available here. Now, if you're just starting out, you're usually only going to have the first guys available. But generally speaking, you want the highest level soldiers that you can get comfortably. There's a caveat here in that they become more expensive. So a good example of that will be with your assaulters. So you have assaulter 2, 3s, and 4s. And assaulter 4s are very expensive. They do come with a higher perk potential, and they do come with different starting perks. So, depending on how many people you need and how many weapons and whatnot, because there is a silver economy in the game that you have to take into account. Early on, you're only going to have access to Assaulter 2s, but later on in the game, you're going to have to choose what to spend your silver on. And you can see here, I have mostly Assaulter 3s. Now, part of the reason for that is before the merge, I picked up a lot of Assaulter 3s in Stalingrad because they came partially leveled up in Stalingrad. But the other reason why I continue to get Assaulter 3s is that I really like this 100% health restored by Medpack perk. 12% reload is good, and getting the extra 1 to 2 perk points is also good, but it's not so good that I feel obligated to spend the extra 3,500 or 2,500, whatever, the extra silver to get Assaulter 4s. Because I can instead use that on the next part. So let's assume that you've picked up your AT soldier, and he's right here. He popped in, you're ready to equip him. All you have to do, pick him up, and plop, and he's in the squad. And you'll see, as you change them, the numbers up here will change. So we have the allowance of 0 out of 1, and now we have 1 out of 1. Cool, so now it's time to customize him. So when he comes, he's going to come looking something like this, where he'll have a bolt-action rifle. It'll probably be a Kar 98 if you're German, and he's not going to have an AT weapon. So you're going to have to get them and put them on. So let's say you want a Panzerfaust 100. You're going to have to come down here. We don't have any in our reserve, so you'd have to go and buy one. And it'll tell you how much it costs. Now, it's an AT weapon, so most AT weapons come fully leveled, but not all. The AT rifles tend not to, but the charge projectors tend to. Although there is one exception. This is a bit of a combination of the two. It does fire a heat charge, kind of like the Sturm pistols. You can see they look very similar. But it's also an AT rifle. So this one you do have to upgrade, and you can see what the upgrades do down here. But it's nothing overly important to me, so I've never bothered upgrading them. But we have our Offenrohr, so we can put our Offenrohr on, and now that slot's filled. Likewise, for weapons, we're going to put the FG42 on. And boom. Now, with melee weapons, they're normally going to come with a knife. You can swap it out for an axe or a shovel. Shovels let you dig holes in the ground, and axes are good for two things. Number one, they allow you to break barricades more easily, and number two, you can charge with them. So if you start sprinting and you hold the melee attack, you'll hold it like over your head, and you'll start running and yelling, and it can be an effective way of getting across like streets quickly. Just be aware that it burns stamina. Now, down here, we don't have our sidearm slot unlocked or a backpack slot, so we can't fill those on this guy. But we do have our mine slot open, and being an AT soldier, this guy is pretty specialized. What I should do is give him an AT mine, and I think that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to come in here, and it'll show you everybody that can equip these, but we only need the one. So you can change the quantity here. We'll be picking up one for 1,000 silver, and we'll put that on him. Flasks are extremely useful. Drinking them refills your stamina, but if you fully drink it, then for, I think it's a minute or two, it'll uncap your stamina, or it'll give you unlimited stamina, so you can effectively sprint forever. Now, you'll still drain stamina if you charge with an axe, or a sword, or a bayonet, but it'll give you a lot of stamina, and it'll start recharging as soon as you finish that. So it's worthwhile to drink your flask and then charge, or just drink your flask and then sprint. Likewise, we have our grenades here, and actually, we're going to swap our grenade out. The explosive pack is very powerful, but this guy's already an AT soldier, and he has his Offenrohr, and he has his AT mine. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a Molotov in here, because what he can do now is he can run up to an enemy tank, and he can throw the Molotov on the front of the tank where the sights are, and they won't be able to see because everything will be covered in fire. And then he can hit them with the Offenrohr, or he can put the AT mine down in front or behind them. You could do smoke grenades instead, but smoke grenades aren't as threatening. What you can do with a smoke grenade is you can put an AT mine down and then throw the smoke grenade on top of the AT mine, so they can't see the AT mine, and most tankers, they tend to, like if you put sandbags down and put the AT mine behind it, they'll just plow right through and hit the AT mine. Or if you put smoke down, because they don't see them as being threatening, they think that they're the big strong tank and they can ram through these things. Now, not every tanker is going to play that way, but a lot of tankers will just drive through things and hit your AT mines if you place them like that. So, let's look at a different guy. This guy right here, Johan, he actually does have his pistol slot open. So we can come in here and we can pick any of our various pistols. We can pick them up the same way we would any other pistol, and we can drag and drop them on, and boom, we can have more pistols. Likewise, we also have backpacks here, and right now I have them with large ammo pouches. Basically, with a small ammo pouch, you're going to get one more mag. With a large ammo pouch, you may get more than one more mag. I'm pretty sure it doubles their ammo capacity. Grenade pouches give you an additional grenade. Small backpacks give you an extra inventory slot. Large grenade packs give you 2 grenades, and large backpacks unlock all of your inventory slots down here. That's why you see these extra slots that are redded out. I guess the only other slot we should go over are your binoculars, and they can be very worthwhile on tankers, and I guess you could argue on snipers because they do offer a fairly wide field of view. Most of the time I don't run them. They aren't terribly expensive though, they're only 200 silver, but it's up to you. But that is effectively how you outfit your squads. Hopefully this has been beneficial to you. And actually, while we're at it, we'll go over vehicle squads as well. So, this is a plane. If you click on the plane, you can swap which plane is on the crew. And your individual pilots, they can be outfit much the same as a normal infantryman can. They don't get backpacks because they have parachutes, so they get second primaries. Most of the time I don't actually stick anything in there because I don't expect to fight on foot. In fact, on most of my pilots, this is a unique squad for me. On all my fighter pilots, I tend to not equip them with anything because I expect them to fly around until they die. And your mileage may vary. You may like to parachute out of your plane and fight on the ground. There's a lot of roleplay in that where, you want to stay alive, but at least for me, I don't really like running around as a single dude on the ground, so I usually just have my pilot go down with the plane. This squad being a 5-man squad, though, is like having an extra assault squad, so if the plane starts going down, they jump out, and I gave them all the captured PPSHs, so they perform very well. If we swap out the squad, though, let's say we want a tank squad, let's put this one on, then you can pick your tank, just like with the planes. It'll show you what's available, and down here under this tab, it's all the things that aren't available for the squad. And then likewise, you can customize all of your fellas. Now, with tanks specifically, you need to have toolkits on them, because when your tank gets broken, you need to get out and fix whichever component is broken on the tank. But most of the time, I also don't keep them armed. It's actually for a slightly different reason than with the planes. I actually don't mind fighting on foot with the tankers. The problem is that generally if the tank's been disabled, then everybody's dead. Or like one guy's alive. And generally I can just hop out and pick up a weapon from one of the infantry that died somewhere near me. But more often than not, if the tank explodes, everybody inside is dead. The only real exception to that for me is sometimes I get out to fix the tank, and then the tank explodes while I'm fixing it. Well, get out there, kick ass, take names, and win your games.